Cafe. I'm about to make a big noise.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
There, that was my big noise. It's Mike's Daily Podcast and Mike Matthews somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. Yes, I came up with that expression.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I thought of that several years ago when I started doing this podcast, and here it is. It's still around. It somehow has lasted, and Mike is still alive, so it means I podcast this thing often. A show called
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And we are doing episode 2683, 2683.
Mike's
today.
Daily
Trying to be more daily
Podcast.
than I've been lately.
Yeah.
Got a little busy last week. And there's so many things to share with you that, like, for example, if you're listening to this on October 3rd, we mentioned this on the last podcast. It's National Boyfriend Day. If you find yourself being a boyfriend, maybe it's a day that your respected other will give you something like a gift of some sort. But ask yourself, are you a good boyfriend? Do you do the things that you need to do to be a good boyfriend? Ask yourself that. And then ask yourself if you're a techie, because it's National Techies Day. Geeks, nerds, techies. That's what we are. Those of us interested in that kind of thing. And I applaud you if you are, because that means you've got a really cool brain that sometimes I wish I had more of your stuff, your brain cells going on. Because sometimes I just don't understand all this fantastic technology around me. That doesn't mean I'm afraid of it. It's just sometimes I don't understand it. I need to learn more. So that's basically, if I wanted to tell you what was happening on October 4th and look into the future, I would say I don't know yet. But,
And here's today's podcast picture.
yeah, I can't see that far. But just enjoy your October 4th. Because it is a fun month this month. So much going on. There's going to be National Mad Hatter Day. What? And other fun activities going on in the month of October. Of course, Halloween towards the end. National Apple Day is October 21st, which, if you think about it, that makes total sense because all those apples are falling off the tree right now. That's certainly the case in my house, in my backyard. The late great Basil the Boxer. I would occasionally throw him an apple since apples were growing in my backyard when he was around. I'd throw him an apple and he would grab it and then run around with it and then eat it. Well, I can't tell you what October 5th is, but apparently October 6th is National Noodle Day. For all of you who love that particular pasta, I guess that could be pasta too. There's a place in the land that I used to live in fact, that's going to be the podcast picture, a picture of Huntsville, Alabama. I used to live there from 2007 to 2009. And it was a place called Nothing But Noodles. And I was told recently that it is still there. And they got something like it, basically the same thing in Concord, I think, or Walnut Creek. It's called Noodles and Company. But it is
Ginormous.
Italian, pasta-based dishes. It's ramen-based dishes. It's macaroni and cheese. Yeah. Some of you who love carbs, you're just drooling at the mouth hearing this. But then others of you, nah. You know, Germans have Spätzle, which is a kind of pasta. And then you've got rice. We can't really call it noodle. It's too small. Get a bunch of rice together. Glue a bunch of rice together, and you will have a noodle, maybe. I guess there's rice noodles. Also on October 6th, if you happen to be listening to it then, and the first Friday in October coming up, which will be on the 6th, is World Smile Day. And it's also National German American Day, which I guess I am. being that my mom was German, and then my dad's mom's mom was full-blooded German. So, do I know German? Ein bisschen. Ein bisschen.
A fine article.
You silly great fat article.
The teacher was named McCarley, and he said, here's all the German you need to know. Vier Bier hier, which means 4 beer here. That's all you need when you're in Germany, and you can ask for the beer and you'll be fine and good to go. By the way, October 7th, this Saturday, is National LED Light Day, which is very pertinent since the federal government said, nope, no more of the old lights. You got to sell the LED lights from now on. And it's National Frappe Day on October 7th. And I love frappes, but in recent years, I've had to say only the healthy type ones. The ones that got like fresh fruit in them and no abundance of sugar or syrups or creams. Just keep it clean is what I was talking about. So this has been a great podcast, very informative. I heard myself on the East Bay Insiders podcast. I made a brief little, suddenly I was there, like a drive-by, because they were sitting right there at the Starbucks, speaking of frappes, and I was just happened to walk by, and I took a picture of them. That's not the podcast picture, though. It is the one, of course, I'll pick something from Huntsville, Alabama, and I've been missing Huntsville lately, and some of my other southern places, like
The Fascinating Material Project.
the wonderful land of Savannah. That's a beautiful place to visit. All these cool places in the South. I need to go out there and visit soon. Nashville. But they were doing their podcast, and they kept me on there. I got a free plug. I don't know if anybody could hear me. I was really far off mic. And I am Mike, and I am a little bit off. Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth.
Anyway.
Look who is here at Café Anyway. Hello, Michael Masters, Madame Rootabega. All of this is very interesting. Ooh. Hey, so here's the deal. I never, ever, ever, ever think about the Roman Empire. Why this is a thing? Oh, yeah. Stupid TikTok. Watch it. Watch it if you spend too much time on any app that starts with the letter T. That includes Twitter. I guess it doesn't start with a T anymore. TikTok, Twitch, any of that. Just watch it. But TikTok apparently started this whole thing where, did you know that men, think about the Roman Empire at least once a day? No. In fact, I first heard this study, this unofficial study, this craze.
You will travel into the incredible universe.
On a conservative talk show. And this guy that hosts this show, he is so, oh no. That's the other thing that's driving me nuts lately. I don't know if you can hear it ever so slightly in the background. But driving by Café Anyway right now is one of those Mr. Softy trucks. So the idiot that drives the local truck in Podcastro Valley, she, I don't know who it is. They park not too far away from my house down the street because there's a big open space area and they can park there and all the people line up and they give them their cash because they only take cash and they get their amazing ice creams. It's the dip stuff I love. It's, you piled up the ice cream that high with the soft serve, and now you've dipped it into this hard shell chocolate shell. It's amazing. Thank you. But no, they sit there, and all these people are coming by. Just turn off your dang song that loops. I've heard the loop about 7,000 times in the past hour, and they just sit there. If you're going to sit there, you have to turn off your dang song. I don't care if it brings back nostalgia, warm nostalgia, fuzzy, wonderful memories from your past. When I was a kid, we used to run out to the Mr. Softy truck. Oh, Mr. Softy! No. driving me nuts. It's driving Mike crazy. Do you like ice cream? Yes. Madame Rootabega, do you like Rootabega ice cream? Yes. Have you ever had rhubarb ice cream? No. Well, I love rhubarb. I love strawberry rhubarb. That might be an interesting ice cream. Mr. Softy needs to come out with that. And they need to leave me alone. Ugh. That's just got to stop. Oh, the beautiful sound of trees. This is what I need, is the sound of the wind blowing through the trees and the little birds. Last year, U.S. shoppers returned nearly 17% of what they bought. Wow. That seems like a fact that is a real, true fact. Oh, back to the thing that does not seem like a fact at all. Romans, the Roman Empire. No. So this guy, this conservative talk show host, he says things like, oh, you know, men, they think about the Roman Empire at least twice a day. Yeah, that's true. And I'm thinking, what? Everything coming out of your mouth, you don't think about it first? Just no. I know it's a stupid belief right now. I never thought about the Roman Empire until that stupid study said that, or that assumption, or whatever it is. I said no.
Mike's Matthewsman Park.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain seated at all times.
And here's if it is true, the only reason why is it's a type of male that's into sports. Because if you think about it, watching sports is like watching a gladiator thing with the arena, with the forum, with the lions. Instead of the lions being down there, it's a bunch of football players smashing into each other. Instead of swords, it's bats. People are hitting the ball over the fence. There's that kind of element of Roman gladiator thing. So I do not watch sports. I do not like watching sports. I think it's a waste of time. If you invite me out to a game, okay, I'll go, just to soak up the atmosphere. But I won't pay attention to anything that's going on. I'll just observe. I mean, I won't pay attention to what's happening in the game. I'll be so absorbed by everything happening around me, absorbed by what is this? Why do people spend so much money on this? This is weird, is what I'll be doing in my observational mode.
Magnification.
But that's all. Let's just stop with it. Any story, and I've said this before, and I need to write a book about why this is true, because apparently no one takes you seriously unless you write a book. You can have a website all you want, mikesdailypodcast.com, and write your little blogs on there and do your little podcast, but nobody pays attention until you actually write the dang book and say everything TikTok tells you is false. And TikTok is starting all these crazy beliefs that are completely wrong in this world. And I'm behind Nikki Haley 3,000% because it's that you gotta believe China's pushed that along, so we'd be all distracted. Well, is this true? All the Americans are like, well, women don't think about Romans, really? The Roman Empire, and men do? Wow, men and women are sure different. Woo! Let's focus on all the other reasons why we're different and why we're the same. And let's pay attention to some of the, why do guys not, I mean, this is a fact. We don't think about our emotions that much. Where we don't embrace the emotions and we don't work through, why am I feeling like this? We just get angry and go, I wish I was a gladiator. But last year, so my lovely lady friend will buy stuff from different online things, like buy clothes and go, oh, that doesn't fit. That's uncomfortable. That doesn't look good on me. I'm returning it. And it's so easy to return stuff now. So it makes sense that 17% of the merchandise that was bought by U.S. shoppers was returned. That amounts to, by the way, $816 billion. For every $1 billion in sales, the average retailer incurs $165 million in merchandise returns.
Mike's out of left field recordings.
Recording everything captures actions that will never again be repeated.
$10 for every $100. Free returns were introduced to encourage online shopping. Returns have emerged as a sore spot in e-commerce. Many customers order multiple items in order to try them out. This means the retailer has to keep a lot of money. Extra inventory on hand is what it means, because they want that being able to make that decision. H&M's return shipping fee in the U.S. is $6, except for loyalty members, as more retailers discourage customers' send it back habits. Even Amazon has added a $1 fee in April to drop packages off at UPS when there's an Amazon-owned drop-off at a Whole Foods nearby. They've got that. So they're trying to cut down. That from Rob Black. I produce his podcast, The Rob Black Show, and he is on the radio in the Bay Area on AM 1220 KDOW in the mornings, and on the television on Kron in the 9 o'clock hour. And Starbucks wants to speed things up thanks to stupid things like TikTok and Instagram. They are filled with videos on special Starbucks combinations. So that helps Starbucks out to get more customers coming in. But now they have 383 billion unique latte combinations. And I guess you only know, the Mr. Stofty's coming back up the road. You only know if you're watching the TikTok or the Instagram, and you have no time. You have nothing. You have too much time on your hands. Starbucks is struggling to keep customer wait times down. Their app makes it easier to add extra pumps of everything. That's true. I've taken advantage of that before. Extra charges bring in over $1 billion in revenue, though, so it helps out Starbucks. They're spending billions to speed things up, like they introduced smaller ice cubes for easier scoopability. They've rolled out cold foamers to clear up prep space, and they filed a patent for a machine that could automate drink making. McDonald's and Popeyes are also trying to speed up service as well, maybe for similar reasons. And let's see, home sales, houses being sold, it fell 15% from a year ago. So less homes being sold, but the prices continue to climb. The median home price for a home sold, the median price this summer was $407,000. That's up from 4% from a year ago. Katy Perry, you heard me talk about recently, she sold 5 albums. She sold the catalog for 5 albums, the songs, for $225 million. And I said at the time that didn't seem like a lot, but I guess that is a lot to me and probably you. But it seems like artists have sold. Now I'm thinking back, the number 50 million sounds about what Alan Jackson got for his music library. So songs like Teenage Dream, Fireworks, Roar, they secured a total of 9 number 1 songs on the Billboard Hot 100. So that's coming out to $225 million.
And now we return you to our regularly scheduled program with Mike Matthews.
Katy Perry. Okay. And look who else is here outside of Café Anyway.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we're looking forward to trying some of that cold foam you were talking about there on one of our drinks that we get from that place you were talking about there.
Yeah, drinks. Do you know that? Do you guys think about the Romans?
Yeah, I talk about Roman Empire all the time there.
Yeah, et tu, Brute? Do you know that? Oh, look, a little bit of... I can understand why you would need to know about the Romans, because you studied history or you studied Latin and you need to know this, or maybe you have relatives from Italy. Really? Why else would you I heard a study that there are more males taking history classes or graduating with history degrees than women.
Magnification.
And they use that to sort of justify this whole Roman craze thing. But, okay. Oh, and the whole Dianne Feinstein thing. And Gavin Newsom found a replacement, but it is only sort of as a temporary replacement because he didn't want to pick anybody that was actually running. Because Dianne Feinstein, the late Dianne Feinstein, of course, she had announced that this was going to be her last term. And then she sadly passed away last week. But LaFonza Butler. Okay. LaFonza. Not like LaFonda from Napoleon Dynamite. LaFonda is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm sure we'll get some more news stories about all that. Of course, they immediately criticized Gavin about that, but all the conservatives didn't say anything about that kind of conservative thing that Gavin did regarding people that are striking, workers that are striking, that they should still be paid. He turned that down, which I would imagine a lot of conservatives would applaud, but instead they go and attack him about nominate or putting in place the senator. I mean, the senator's position needed to be filled. It just has to. So they had a problem with who he picked. But of course, that's going to happen because they've got nothing else to talk about. But that's what they do. And what I do is tell you that you can tell me what you want to talk about. 510-228-4640. And with other ways to reach me, it's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.